Hi, everybody. Here's another episode of Woman of Worth Award winners for 2022. I'm so excited to share with you Tammy Gaitor. Congratulations, Tammy, on being a Woman of Worth Award winner for 2022.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
You know, we've known each other for a few years now and actually met through somebody else. But you were doing something amazing even then when I met you, and you have just continued to build and create that. But before we talk about that, I want to ask you, in your words, Tammy, what does woman of worth mean to you?
So for me, I think a woman of worth, and again, I'm gonna make this very personal because for me, it was becoming self-aware of myself, understanding who I am, how I am, and all that comes with that. So to me, a woman of worth is someone who knows who she is and accepts who she is, how she arrived there, but also where she's going and have has a plan for that. And I feel like that's everyone. Like we can all be that woman if we so desire.
Oh, that's beautiful. And I completely agree with you. We all have that inside of us.
Mhm, mhm.
So I want you to share, Tammy, if you would, how you're impacting the world and making a difference because I know you really lead with a servant heart. So if you could share that with our viewers, that would be awesome.
So, and I'll go back to what I just said. I'm able to do this because of my own personal growth from my own personal pain and challenges. So first and foremost, it is my desire to allow that healing to help someone else want to heal and do so. So I do a number of things. I also have the Butterfly Evolution radio show, and I created that show with a friend girl, and we thought that we were going to do this show to save women, to help women, because we thought that we had arrived, only to find out that the show was really for us. Like there was so much healing that took place and continues to do so now. So I use the Butterfly Evolution platform. I love, love, love butterflies because it symbolizes to me all that I want to do. I want to continue to transform my life, to grow, and to change into my greatness. And I believe that we must forever and always be open to change because life changes. Things happen, we change. So I do that through the radio show. I also have Bluff City Leadership, and it is about helping people come to a place of character based communication because that's when we are most effective in our communication. I do believe that there are many relationships, including the relationship that we have with ourselves. We lose those relationships because we say the right things but to the wrong people at the wrong time, or we don't say the things that we really want to say. So I help people become more self-aware so that they can communicate more effectively and build healthy professional and personal relationships. So I do that through an assessment. We offer an assessment. I do leadership workshops, seminars, training, and so forth. I work with couples to help them bridge the gap that the lack of effective communication causes. And so often, Sherry, couples don't realize that they are missing each other in so many ways. And so it's important. It's not just important as who we are, but how we are as well. How are we wired? So I do that as well.
It's so amazing. And like 100%, I feel like going preach about the whole relationship thing. And you know what? It's people like you that are making a difference in the world and in people's relationships. And when you make that help that relationship, you know, the world improves.
Right.
So I applaud you for that. So you mentioned that you had your own struggles and challenges when you were talking about the radio show. Can you share maybe with our viewers a struggle that you've had and how you overcame it?
Oh wow, just one.
Just pick one. I know we've all had many.
I had so many. I would say if you don't mind, I'd like to give two because I think these two held me back the most. And with that, I won't elaborate on it, but my grandmother passed away when I was in the fifth grade, and she was, in my eyesight, my rock. Like she was everything. She was the calm to any storm that I had. So losing her at such an early age and coming back to the communication part, adults seem to forget that kids are people too, and that they are affected as well by things that happen. So there wasn't any conversation, there wasn't any therapy. It was just, your grandma's gone. And for the eyes of a 10-year-old and the heart of a 10-year-old to get that, um, it never left me. And about 3, 4 years ago, I found myself sobbing in front of two of the most important men in my life. It was my son and my dad, and it was my dad's mother that I was sitting in front of him and my son sobbing. And I, for the first time, I looked out, and not only did I see my pain, but I saw my dad's pain, because it was like, it was his mother, and he was young, he was 20 something. And so I realized that I had to move on from that place and know that it was okay. And then the second thing was, after I lost my grandmother, and of course life changed because I went from a grandmother and a grandfather, and we know grandmothers and grandfathers are the best in the world. Like they are the best in the world. So I had this perfect life, I thought. And I went to, and I don't know if I've shared this, but I went to an abusive home. I went to where I saw my mom being abused quite often and frequently. And so it was like I felt like, oh my God, it was just one storm after another that I felt I didn't come out of. And so those have been my greatest challenges, because they kept me bound for so long. And the crazy part about it is, I don't think I ever knew that it had did what it had done to me. So um, I've learned how to deal with it better by growing, getting it out of my system in a way that I needed to do. So those are the things that I brought with me. I've had some challenges as an adult as well, but I think because I had already started to grow spiritually first, and recognize what God, the spirit within me, I'll say that, what was within. And I stopped looking outward for people and for things to do what only I could do through the work of God.
Yeah, and it's kind of like that fix is in here,
Yeah,
right? And
yeah,
and you had a choice, as you
yeah.
mentioned before. Awesome. So I want to actually ask you too, because we're celebrating Women's History Month, and I have a feeling I know who you're going to point to, but I've been asking all of our award winners, who is it in your life that was a great role model, a mentor, somebody who really, made an impact in your journey to where you are today, Tammy?
I would, if I had to pick one, it would be my grandmother. I'll say my grandmothers, because I did have the best of both of them, but one more so than the other, because I had a lot of one-on-one time. I can still remember some of the things that my grandmother said to me, and I don't know if I should remember them because I was very, very little. But they didn't start to come back until after I started to grow. So it would be my grandmother, but also, Sherri, every woman that I've had an opportunity to encounter, I've learned something from, whether it was how not to be or how to be. And so every woman that God has allowed to cross my path, I have truly gotten something from. I may not have realized it right then, but the more I grew, I could think back to maybe some things that I said that I shouldn't have said or done. So every woman that I've encountered, I've grown from and learned something from.
I love that because that's so true. I mean, that's, if you're not growing and learning, you're dying.
Yeah.
So, absolutely. That was beautifully put, Tammy. Thank you. So I want to ask you, 100 years from now, what is it that someone is going to say about Tammy Gaitor and the impact that that you had on their life? Essentially, what is the legacy that you want to leave behind in this world?
If I'm going to have to stick with my butterflies, I love just what butterflies stand for, the transformation coming out of the cocoon. So I don't know. I think that maybe every woman has, and if you guys haven't, I've did it enough for you. There, like you kind of go there, like my last day, on the day that I'm laid to rest. What would it be like? I don't know if every woman has had that. I would think so, just because of how we are wired. But I vision just butterflies everywhere, and people think about self awareness, transformation, no matter what you've gone through, no matter how far you think you have not gone. Think about those butterflies, and it's so much more to what a butterfly has to do to get there. And so if you've not studied the life of a butterfly, becoming a butterfly, oh my gosh. So I just hope people see butterflies when I'm not here and think, wow, y'all remember Tammy? She loved butterflies and she loved how they had to transform and the work that they had to do to get there, because we do have to put in the work, people. We have to do the work to change and transform our lives into what we want it to be, but more importantly, what God purposed it to be.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Exactly what we were intended to be while we're here. Oh, I love that so much, Tammy. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
And I often think of you actually when I see a butterfly because I associate you with butterflies. So there you go. There's that ripple effect I've been talking about all month.
you.
When I
Exactly.
see a butterfly, I'm like, oh, there's Tammy.
There's so many. Exactly.
So that's so awesome. And I hope that that will plant a seed in all of the viewers' minds too, that when they see a butterfly, that they have the ability to transform their life or who they are into anything that
Exactly.
they want to be.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, Tammy, I'm sure that you have inspired many. How is it that somebody can get a hold of you or work with you? I know you mentioned the butterfly evolution, but also the Bluff City leadership. If people are interested in learning more about how to connect with you, how can they do that?
So you can reach me at Tammy, and that's Tammy at bluffcityleadership.com. And Sherri has it scrolling there at the bottom. So it's just Tammy at bluffcityleadership.com. You can also go to the website and send me a message from the website as well.
Awesome. And I know there's probably freebies on there. And I know you mentioned there is a quiz on there that they can take as well so they can get some information for themselves. So thank you so much, Tammy Gaitor. I am so proud to know you and congratulations on being a 2022 Woman of Worth Award winner.
Thank you so much, Sherri. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.